Today we are doing a soul journey reading, and this reading is going to consist of speaking of the soul's intention when coming into carnation this life. So, if the belief of yours is not that you reincarnate, that's okay. We can also use it as a means to express where you're going as far as what you were born with, your talents, and what they're going to be moving towards. There is a north node and a south node. In your chart, you have a south node in Aries. So we like to start there. That's the gifts that you have. You come in or you develop early in life these skills that really serve you well. You master them. They become your back pocket go-to resource when you need to rely on that kind of energy. So for you, a south node, you're destined to release this energy at some point in your life, but it's in the sign of Aries. So it's a very connected to your own personal story, your independence, your ability to demonstrate your passions in this energy of fire. So, of confidence and this daringness to do what you need to do. We say sometimes the fire sign are the most intuitive because they're just born with this go feeling. They know that they need to act and they can trust that, and they're deeply connected to that energy. There's no looking around and seeing if everyone else agrees too. It's I trust something in myself or in my higher power, and I know I need to act. And in the sign of Aries, the first of the signs, this is the the fighting energy of survival. It can be a sign of in the south node, it can be a sign of a past life or earlier in life where you really had to count on yourself to get things done. If you wanted to survive or you wanted to be given the freedom to be your own person, you had to fight for it. So it's something you're willing to do. It's something that you know that you're at the end of the day, whether you win or fail, whether you do or don't, it's all because of you. And it's not something you take lightly. It's something that you're willing to battle for because you have this desire to be here in this life and to get what is yours. And that was maybe a battleground for you in a past life, or maybe it was just a survival mechanism that you needed to adapt in this one. In the sixth house, the house of our everyday, of our routines, our jobs, um, our health. It can be just like a foundation of our practical life. So usually it's our daily routines because in practical life, we tend to do the same things throughout the days, months, years. So the South Node, Aries energy is this kind of like fight or flight, mostly fight with Aries, this fight or flight energy that you have to kind of stay in your daily life. So being ready for battle at any moment because you might have to fight for what you need at any point in the day, throughout the day, to maintain your freedoms and your autonomy and your independence. And in the South Node, the reason you want to release that is because that's something that your soul has already experienced. And it says, well, in this life or for the rest of my life, I'd like to go across the axis and see what it would be like to have a different perspective and a different experience. I'm going towards the north node, what I'm destined to have. If I choose because it's all about free will. If I make the choices that lead me to evolution of my soul, I'm going to wind up over here in the North Node because that's what I chose to experience in this life. So for you, that is a Libra North Node. So now it's saying, okay, I have done the fight. I have I have made it clear of my desires. I've followed my passions throughout my physical life of the reality realm, and I've mastered that. I have mastered the ability to get what I need in my daily world. And I've proven that because I've either gone to war for it or I've followed my gut instincts and I've done it anyway. And I've paid this path for myself that now I've grown to call mine. And I'm standing on that foundation in my very real terms. So it could be that you have a job because you put yourself through school or you worked there for a long time and you climbed the ladder yourself and you've done very you know you stood the test of time on many things and now you have what you need because you fought for it. And I say in these realms of work, because the sixth house can represent our jobs, it's how sometimes how we make money, and it's a skill that we've developed. So to do that skill, it takes practice. You're not born with this. You have done the work to get this skill level that you're probably profitable on now. And these are all very real, tangible items that is part of our society and our reality. But your soul wants to go towards this spiritual realm. So in the 12th house, this is all now about the opposite of the sixth house. It's about spirituality, transcending the world of material and realism. And now it's going to the world of our spiritual side, our collective energy, our karmic debts. And it is usually seen in a type of karmic energy because it's all about connecting on a spiritual plane of like healing those less fortunate than us or people or areas where it's not part of the general society norm. So this is an area of like hospitals or prisons. um, back in old astrology, they would say like insane asylums, places where people are not part of the daily hustle of the sixth house. They are exempt from that for some reason. They're too ill, they're too low society, they've been exiled, they've been, locked away. And all that is to say, they've been disconnected from the everyday grind. And that's where your soul wants to go. Not saying that it wants to be in any of those scenarios. It wants to experience what is spirituality outside of the everyday hustle and bustle. Your soul's not really interested in that anymore. Already done that side of the human experience. It wants the soul human growth now of being connected to the spiritual world. And in the sign of Libra, it is very interested in the other person. So now it is not focused on how to meet my own passions and set my own trail in this world. It's about what is my partner, my spouse, someone who's very close to me, my mirror of myself. That is where my consciousness wants to follow. I want to be part of a duality. I want to be in a collaboration. I need to know that another human experiences is intertwined with my own. I do not want to do this alone. I want to do this with someone else. I want to experience all of these human spiritual things, and I want to share that with someone else. I want to be able to, in an intellectual capacity, relate to their experience as it pertains to my own. I want to find a balance in this relationship, and I want it to become a source of peace and harmony for me. I want this relationship to help me put down my armor and walk away hand in hand with another person. I want to be so vulnerably open with another person that there's no need to have that outer shell of armor anymore. And I even want to do it so well that we can go on this spiritual journey together. Maybe wind up far away outside of the, off the grid somewhere, whether it be physically off the grid somewhere or just mentally, spiritually connected in a way that is not part of your typical relationships. So, this is a calling to take those spiritual opportunities, whatever is the calling of what the source energy and higher power within yourself has opened up to your awareness, because Libra is an intellectual air sign. So sometimes it's through conversations with other people that you hear of some type of spiritual path that really calls to you. Is it a podcast that you heard that they were talking about something that really caught your interest? Did you go to a seminar? Were you at a spiritual festival and someone gave a really inspiring lecture? Explore that. You're meant to use your intelligence to get you to this next level of spiritual awareness. Reading, talking, connecting, sharing ideas with other people of the same like-mindedness is where you're going to experience this growth. But you're going to either find someone that is going along the same path as you, or maybe you already know who this person is that you're already spiritually connected with. And when they're in balance and they're walking this life of peacefulness inside of them, they're looking for the same spiritual serenity that you are, then it becomes something that combines you two in a partnership. And it is a realization of not being alone, and that this human experience is about being connected to other people. And what you have worked so hard for in the past has gotten you your great one independence, and now your soul's ready to see it in another person. You know you can do it as one human soul experience. Well, what would it be like to connect spiritually with another soul? And I want to see where that goes. And that's really going to fulfill me on my journey in this lifetime, to have reached that level of mastery in this partnership of spiritual growth and connection. So I think I will stop this here, and I will leave you with the takeaway that both energies are a cardinal sign. So they're both one of being leaders and having this pioneering spirit. So you will still carry that energy into both sides. There is not a light that dims from the south node. It is just transferred now into the spiritual north node realm, but it's still about this being interested in new situations and being willing to take new steps and directions whenever you're guided with the opportunity for that type of growth. And being the cardinal sign energy is to stay open to new ideas, being able to recognize when old things are no longer serving you and move on to the new season of growth in your life. Notice all the cardinal signs start the new seasons of the year. They don't wait for anyone to tell them, they do it. They start it because that's what they're being called to do. So when your soul is calling you towards these Libran spiritual steps, it's going to be up to your free will to answer and really take those next steps to doing it. It's not a passive energy, it's a one of action and direct motion. So we're going to need to keep yourself open to feeling when it's that calling of you to do the next right thing to get there, and not letting someone else do it for you, or always waiting for another sign. You're going to need to be proactive in this, in your spiritual journey of the Libran partnership that your soul wants to experience. Okay, so that'll be it for today. I hope that was pretty clear and easy to understand. Let me know if you have any questions. I am so happy you're part of this page, and thank you for your interest.